Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever you are hearing us from. Welcome to your program, where Hope means inspiration. I'm delighted to be your host today. Boyega Rajoma remains my name. We're talking on the topic today, building a strong foundation, hope and commitment in marriage. And with me today, I have two special guests that's going to do justice to the program. On my right hand side, I have Mr. Victor Ogunbi. And on my left hand side, I have Mr. Jide Akindori. Good afternoon, and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So when we talk about building a strong foundation and hope and commitment in marriage, what do we mean about that? Mr. Jide.
We are talking about having a structure, marital structure that brings hope. When you want to construct a building, it takes a lot of things before you erect any building. You have to do a foundation, and how solid that foundation is will determine how long that building will stay so that it will not collapse. And that's when the foundation is strong, that is when you can say that marriage will last long. That foundation determines the future, and that hope we are talking about. So if you are talking about foundation, you are talking about building your marriage on the solid rock, which is Christ. That is what I can say for now.
Mr. Victor,
thank you very much. Just to buttress what Mr. Engineer said, if you want to have a good home, a good marriage, there must be a strong foundation. Oftentimes, we play around this English parable and we say, if you fail to plan, you have already planned to fail. Anyone that are coming together in union, in marriage, they should build a strong foundation that will take them through the period of the marriage. When God gave the instruction, Genesis 2:18, He said, the man shall leave the woman and his father and mother, cleave to wife, both of them shall become one. So it's an instruction of God that they come in agreement to become one. And that agreement is the foundation. If they don't get that right at the beginning, building on that might be very difficult. Thank you.
I have some questions here. What are the most important factors in building a strong foundation in marriage? Mr. Jide.
Thank you. Trust is very, very important and key to a relationship that will grow. We have seen, I have counseled a family of 35 years in marriage. When the woman said she would deal with the father, that she's been dealing with him, but she targeted at doing something silly because she didn't forgive the man. They were just living together under the same roof. Because she didn't trust the man. When there is no trust, there is no fulfillment in marriage. One of the key to all these things is trust. Number 2 is having the same vision. When you don't have the same vision, you cannot agree. Even when you disagree, you have the same vision, the same focus. You will know where you are going. We have seen cases whereby husband says, this is what I'm going to do. The wife says, this is what I'm going to do. And it affected the children. Just because they were not both in agreement. So, if you don't disagree to agree, and if you don't agree on the same role as a family, then be rest assured that the building will collapse.
I have another question here. This says, how do you define hope in the context of marriage, and how can couples cultivate it, Mr. Victor?
We can liken hope to a blind faith. You know? That is when the Bible calls faith the evidence of things not seen. It's only giving us a picture of looking into a future that probably it is not clear now, but with our belief in one another, the man and the woman can hope for a greater future. I must say this, hope doesn't look real in the first appearance of it. Everything will be pointing to the fact that it may not be possible. Everything will be pointing to a future that is vague, that is blurred. But to hope means to trust, just like Mr. Akindele said, in the process of the home you are building. When you trust in that process, then you will hope for a better future. When you trust in the process, you will hope for a glorious union living together. I want to say something in addition to that. In Ephesians chapter 2, sorry, let's take 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 13. That one that talks about love, hope, but the highest of them is love. Meaning that when they are building it, see they love one another, that same love, because that's the primary thing, then they can build a hope of a future on that. Once I love you, I share that common goal with you, then we can both see the future. Even though we can't touch it now, we can hope for a better marriage in the future. Thank you.
I have something to add.
Okay.
This will be good for people that are still coming up into marriage. I have realized that most of the things that are causing trouble now in that days, the research has made us to know that 70% of the marriage now, 70% of the marriage now does not last more than 5 to 10 years. Why? The necessity in building a foundation was not there. Infatuation has been turned into love. Like you, like me. No research, no findings, no prayer. They were not even patient. They started sleeping together as early as they met. And so where would the foundation be? Not on solid rock again. So before 10 years or before 5 years, the infatuation will go. Because they've been met with the reality. And that is affecting marriage now. I have counseled lots and lots of people that I have seen that some, it was as if they were blindfolded. Because because they didn't plan it well. God used me for a lady. She said she has seen one man. She now said that she will pray. I said, okay, bring the name. And me, I don't tell people this is your will of God. I don't do it though. You know why? I am not going to live with that family. But I know if I didn't take that name, this is where you want to push yourself into. So she will just get into marriage and she will discover that something has changed. I said, okay, Sister Lagwaja, go and pray. She said, I don't know before. Why? Lot of things we are supposed to do, we don't do it again nowadays. And it's affecting. So where will hope come from? When things has been shattered at initial stage. When we did not even follow what 2 Corinthians, and the 1 Corinthians 13 has said. So this is one of the key to the foundation that brings hope we are talking about.
But recently, what are you going to tell some ladies out there? You know, it gets a particular age. They get a particular age, and they just feel that now anything goes. That I'm not growing younger anymore. So anybody that comes now, so yeah, it has to be the person. So what advice are you going to give that kind of a person? It's for ladies to, for the guys too. So what advice are you going to give to both parties? Because I found that these days, once a lady is up to 26, 27 upward, and if the right person is not coming, so if anything goes now, if just
okay. Thank you. I call that desperation. You get to a point when people that have waited for quite a long time, they get desperate. So anything that comes, they want to say, I'm running out of my time. I'm already clocking or moving towards 40. I don't think I can wait again. So like you said, whatever comes, they just want to have a grab. I would still say something. It is better late than never. I always encourage people. I have a couple of friends that went through that or currently even going through that. There's always a common thing I share with people. I said we all have different timings. Yeah, we have different timings. We're not the one that created that. We came to this world and we found ourselves in a different speed of life. So I always tell them, for the fact that you have waited, you are now desperate, what you should do is that you should look for someone that share your goal. Yes, if you are in a hurry to just pick anything that comes your way and it doesn't share your dream, that journey will be difficult. The long time that person has waited will be a waste. And do you know, if that kind of person that waited for so long could meet someone that they both have a common dream, a common goal, their speed in marriage, when it gets to success, it could be so fast that he or she may even overtake some people that he thought they have left him behind. So look for someone that share a common goal. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. It is better done in the best way. We always say in English language, the patient dog eats the fattest bone. We don't want to be patient again. You feel the time is ticking. Yes, we are running out of time. But the assurance is that what belongs to you, it will definitely come. Stay, reference in place of prayer. Yeah. Stay humble in place of prayer. The one that comes to you will discern. It will discern. You will know the one that comes to you. So for those that have waited for quite a long time and anything that comes their way, they're in a hurry to jump at it, my message this evening is that be patient. Search for the common goal that you have in the life of your partner, the one you want to make your partner. There must be a common goal. If you share a common goal, a common dream, the journey will be faster. Thank you.
But these days I noticed that people don't want to pray. They don't want to pray. All they're after is let me settle down. But I want to ask a question. Do you believe in this? Because you mentioned earlier that do you believe in this one that they take like 4 names to one pastor, say you should pray and choose one person out of the 4 to see who is the right person? But you know that I found out too that sometimes that pastor, that person's name might be the wrong thing.
No,
I'm coming. It might be wrong in the sense that you see later when they start growing, she begins to find out some things about him that she doesn't know. So, like he said discernment. God is going to give you spirit of discernment. When you see the person, you will know the person. I was asking someone yesterday because someone was saying that we were talking about this topic yesterday. The man was telling me that he wants to settle down, and I was like, okay, what of that person? He said no, that's not the person. That he said, if I see the person, I will know. How are you going to know?
See, the truth is, it's just the way we are taking relationship these days. There and there, we are serious about what is called marriage. Now, we don't take it so serious. Talk of those people that are delayed. Let me take you back. I want you to know at a particular time, you will have met your own will. You will have been meet with your own soulmate.
You mean back then?
Yes. But maybe that person is also sensitive. Some people because of their career. Some because they look at the level of that person. Some because they feel it is not time for their own. Why the Bible says there is time for everything. So when that bad time is past, that person has to be patient to get the right one. But the problem is the pressure of the peer group, the pressure of the parents, the pressure of and the words, the abuse, the insults. We make a lot of them to say anyone that goes, I'm ready. Because he'll be talking too much about it and I don't want them to begin to. But not. You don't look at that. I had the disappointment 3 weeks to marriage. That was my experience. A lot of people said a lot of things, but I did not know. God helped me out because the lady died after 8 years of marriage. When I got married, I was delayed for 7 years before I had my first baby. So at a particular time, 2 things must happen to you in life. The will you will meet with either he or she. And then in marriage, there must be a challenge. You have different challenge. Now, what singles of these days do not understand is that the prayer you are praying then when you are single will work for you in your marriage. Because once women, once they start having kids, their commitment to God reduces by day. But those prayers that they are prayed, we give them strength, we carry them on in marriage. I have noticed women are more committed in marriage than men. So if a man is saying, or a woman is saying, I don't want to pray, just let me see, and then your Bible will say, Wabambe. Because you have to test what you are seeing, test it, whether it will stand the test of time. Because in your marriage, it's just that we have different challenges you will be faced with one. And if you skate through, that is the people you are seeing that they still last long, 35 years, 55 years, then 40 years, because they've been able to skate through. Did I answer your question?
Yes, but okay.
Let me just stay on the delay. And for those people, the reason why they tends to jump at anything that comes their way, like Mr. Akili is saying. Some of them, during that wait, it is true, they might have come across that soulmate. And some factors like he or she is not of my standard, he or she is not of my projected specification, he or she is not of my tribe, he or she is not of my belief, my race. All those factors will now begin to, give some confused mind, and that individual will feel. But let me tell us, those good things that will last with you, they never appear good when you first see them. They don't. They don't appear good. Those things that will last with you, when you first see them, they really don't appear so good. So I go back to counsel them and say, when your mind picks that first time, the best thing you need to do is to get into agreement with that individual. Once you have a common goal, I'll go back to that statement. Irrespective that it's an Hausa, you are Yoruba, or she's a white girl, you are an African girl. If you share a common goal, the speed of your marriage will move faster, and you'll be blessed. And in addition, if you miss that time, like Mr. Akili said, that individual will go and kill. Because opportunities, we speak it in English, and they come but once. You might have a grace to have that opportunity to repeat itself probably in a longer days or longer years to come. But you would have to kill. Because that person now, one way or the other, God will have worked it out. And because you were not ready, the person was ready, God will fix that person with another person that is ready. So you would have to wait again. Yeah.
Then you talked about how the person know.
Yeah, the sign.
There is no, don't go into it. Am I really sure I want to do this? My heartbeat is beating fast. I am feeling reluctant about something. I don't think that's one. But the ones that is the right will of God for you will bring peace for you. It's one of those things that will make you know. Aside from the spiritual gifts, not everybody have that spiritual. Talking about people that are taking names to the pastors. It depends on your understanding from the background. That does not mean their prayers will not be answered. It's just that pastors need to be careful, because I have seen why pastors say this is will of God, because sister can sing in the church, and the church member is part of the name, and the pastor picked the ones that and after a week wedding, that brother started beating the sister. The sister cried, and the pastor said, I'm sorry after marriage. Just because she's a member, and the pastor feels if Sister Albaja could leave the church for another church now, I will miss her. So the pastor picked. I don't do it. I don't pick for people. But by the time I cancel you with the way I be speaking, you will have known that whether I'm against this or not. If you pick one of them, what I would say and the way I will present it to you, like one sister, she told me, she gave me two she gave me, and as I was praying, she gave me 3 names. I said, I am seeing another flower coming out of the blues. I told her, you need to go and pray more. But the sister didn't listen. She went ahead and picked one of them. Lo and behold, till date, she's suffering. So you have to be wise as pastors or guardians or leaders, the way you will guide people so that at the end of the day you not regret it. That is to the men of God.
But how can couples effectively communicate and resolve conflicts?
Wow. One of the key factors that will make the marriage last is just what you mentioned. That's communication. It's a very strong tool in marriage. If you have a strong communication in your marriage, it's easy for you to express whatever worries you have in your mind and to also present whatever aspirations you want for the marriage. But when you live like cat and rats, you don't talk, you don't share ideas, it may be difficult for you to understand the direction the marriage is going. We cannot rule out the fact that sometimes these days, maybe the professions are different, the environment is giving us opportunity that, okay, me, I'm always in the morning, I go to work, I come back so late, my wife too gets back so late, and I'm tired, she's tired, and we just say, few things, work today, is work, and we go to this. And I was saying, it's actually my pastor that was sharing it, was saying that one of his friends in UK recently, they called in and they were having conflicts. So he was trying to calm them down all the way from this place. What is the problem? What is the problem? And that is the fact that we must understand the temperament of one another as a wife. If your wife is talking, you should stop talking. And if you are talking as the man, the wife too should stop talking. Two wrongs can never make a right. So when the other one is backing, shouting, pouring out the grievance in him or her, the second party should calm down. It's communication. That's a gesture communication. You calm down. Then afterwards, you can now come and say, but that thing you are saying that time is actually not that way. Before you know, you're able to resolve it. Another one I will mention is, you don't live
because of where I came from. That's where my mom talk. My late mom used to talk. I will talk as if I want to raise anything. But because, even though when that did not mean anything, I have tried and I'm still trying. but maybe because I'm now form of a preacher, it's getting harder. But the truth is, she understands me now. But even in it, my own weakness, I am trying to work on it so that it will not affect my marriage. And he talked about temperament. It's very, very important for people that want to start, even when people that are in marriage now, understand the temperament of your of your spouse. When someone is a melancholic person in nature, that person will not give you a response in time. Because the melancholic will digest everything. Choleric will always say, this is what I want. So when you have an husband that is choleric in nature, if your wife is not careful, or you now opposite, you now have the wife that is choleric, who is built to be a leader, and your husband cannot tolerate it, the marriage will scatter. Or if you have phlegmatic who is always slow to action,
very, very sometimes.
Give them the assignments. They are there for 3 weeks before they give you response. And Sanguine, who is always sharp, is the husband. If you are not careful, so I would suggest that for some people you can read Tim Lai's book, Understanding Your Temperament. That also will help in communication.
Okay, what are some common challenges that couples face in the early years of marriage, and how can they overcome them?
Early years of marriage, I mentioned it the other time. Some of the things we feel in early years of marriage is that some couples, their projection before coming into marriage, when they step into it, they feel, they are not getting it. And it is because there was no appropriate culture. You didn't learn each other. You didn't learn each other. You must learn from one another how to come together and become one. When God instituted marriage, God knew that we were coming from different backgrounds. He knew. But there was an aspect I want us to pay attention to, that Genesis 2:18. He said a man shall leave his father. He never said a woman will leave his father and mother, although that is contestable theologically. But he said a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they two shall become one. Meaning that when the man now comes together, it is not that he will totally forget about what his father and mother can say, but there's a tendency, the influences will be coming from his own background. And when those influences, he allows it to rule his heart, he affects that marriage. Of course, by nature of man, we are leader, carry a whole lot of responsibilities. Pressure will be coming from the background at home. Maybe junior brother, maybe uncle, maybe aunts, maybe everybody will be pushing pressure, parent, father, mother. And if he pays too attention on that, it will have a negative reflection on the current partner. And that one will not take that from him. Even if you don't eat, you grow belly, you grow muscles. While some certain people, even if they eat a lot, they still don't grow. I don't talk about myself anyway. They still don't grow fat. So God, for myself, God blessed me with that kind of stature. I've been like this for so long time, by the special grace of God. On the 10th of October this year, my marriage will be 16 years old. And even my wife, if you see her, and you still see her with that time we started, I don't know how it happened though. She's still almost the same figure. So one of the things that
have changed. Myself and my wife.
Yeah. So it happens. So when the situation whereby one changes and the other one does not changes, after 2, 3, 4 years, it begins to have this disconnection. Then the second thing I want to talk about is family. Family. Don't allow your family to call into your marriage. Family, friends, that way. Don't allow them to come into the marriage. At the early time, when God asks you to leave them and cleave to your wife, there's a reason. You need to bond first. After the bond, after the understanding, no problem. No problem. Then you now start creating a common friend, building a common family friend together. Thank you very much.
Okay, do you have any the same studies?
No, it's just that I can add to it comparison. Don't compare somebody's family with your own.
Good.
Now, someone is asking me, he said, how can couples handle external pressures such as financial stress or family expectations?
Family, the outside family, are you talking about extended family?
Probably.
No, probably.
Yeah, I think that's what the person is trying to say. Expectations of families.
Yes.
I think he has already answered it.
Yeah.
Don't allow them.
Yeah.
The problem is that we have some people who are mommy's boys or
Mommy's
girl. What they do is they call in for everything. And that will not make them to have the decision of their own. And that will not make them to build their own. It will still shake them. And the family will not be shaped into the right way. So when you are talking about family expectation, it is because you allow family. They shouldn't be expecting anything from you. But you will be the one to now give to them.
Yes.
Once you have what it takes. So it depends on the couple. How they relate with their own family. Because the family might be expecting so much and they will see little. That does not mean they will not get there.
Okay.
So one has to be careful.
To help that person further, there will be pressure. There's no doubt about it. So I think the couple should have financial management plan. They should have it. It's not everybody from the family that has a problem that you must resolve in the early time of your marriage, because you are just still putting your own feet on the floor. You are not settled, you are not balanced. So they come and tell you that daddy is so is having a problem with it and you want to support. My niece is having it and you want to support. Before you know, it will distort the financial management of the new home.
But you know, some people don't see it that way. You know, some families don't see it that way. That when maybe they see when the son is the breadwinner coming from their place. So when they need something and they go and ask him,
And they say they have it.
Exactly, and he says he doesn't have.
They will say it's the wife.
So you know, in that situation, how do you balance it? Because you know that sometimes women like to shy away from that side. That wọ́n máa sọ pé èmi mò ń ti ẹ̀ pé wọ́n máa
Some are like that o.
some are like that o, because some are not like that.
Yes.
So how do you balance it?
What I have seen in resolving that issue is the wife. The woman will be the one to be married. Start shying away from the family, not disconnecting from them. Then even when there is a problem, they will not see it. They will say, so most of the women sometimes they say, Odaki Okomeku going to marry, you know. if my mother-in-law can die before I get married, someone that's having a mentality, once he gets married, should not be part of the family, and that will create that family expectations problem.
What are some strategies for building a strong support system in marriage?
There must be counseling before marriage. I always say that. I like the institution of counseling, even though I'm not a counselor, but in a little way, I know that that institution is playing the pivotal role in building a home. You see, when you go through appropriate tutelage during the preparatory stage of your marriage with a very good marriage counselor, some of these things that will come later, he will have mentioned it to you. You will be expecting them, and he will have guided you in what you will do to, overcome them and manage them appropriately well. So one thing is, you should build first. 5 verse 22. Wives, submit to your husband. I now say, husband, love your wife. Do you know those are two difficult things to do? The submission for women is a difficult thing. The love for the man is a difficult thing. And that's why God said you should do it. Because that will now be what the counselors will use to build you. As long as you love her, even if she's making a mistake, you will not hold your hand to slap her. And as long as you are submissive to him, even if he's giving you a command, you will do that thing first before you complain. So I think I've been able to say one or two things. Yeah.
In this hard time, we're all going through. I don't want to use. I don't like using that term. That this era or something. Everything is hard, but we know things are hard. And when you get home, sometimes you have this mentality. Exactly, you want to make money, and you get home and the money is not forthcoming, and again the woman is not welcoming. That's another.
I want to go out.
Exactly, that's another problem. So in that situation, how do you handle that situation? Because you know that I'm not doing that anything. Women can be so problematic.
Yeah.
So if they are not getting what they want, that thing was. How do you handle that situation? How do you calm that situation down?
You are under pressure.
Exactly.
Because that not every woman. That's number one. In fact, another research has made us to know that women are more responsible than men now. In fact, women most of the women are the carrier of the marriage in their homes now. There are lazy men all around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I've been to places where I see men playing games while the woman also she's in the bush hustling. But let's say in an appropriate home where the husband will be the one to go out more than the woman. Women will always act like women. It takes wisdom. That is why we are men. In Yoruba land, if you are not married, they believe you cannot talk. If you stand up to talk and you raise your hand, they will tell you, Mr. Man. sorry, you are not expected to talk here because you are not responsible yet. You know what? Whoever that can handle a woman can handle every other
nation.
We have seen cases where they don't give contracts to people because they are not married. It has happened to me like that in the past. It is not because they believe someone that is married is responsible. So you are saying, how do we handle them? You handle women with the wisdom of God. That is why we are teachers, we are prophets, we are pastors. No woman, no matter how spiritual that woman is, they will always, the fruit of being a woman will let's come out of them, but in a different way. Some are matured, some are not matured. Like me, I have a wife who doesn't go to party. My wife is not after clothes. She's not after anything. If you spend too much money, my wife will complain. But some have a woman that will demand 100,000 clothes every week, 200,000 clothes every. You want to go to party here? That man has already married that person. Then, with wisdom of God and the knowledge, you bring that person down to your own level. So, what a man can do is to do what we call. There is something that happened between me and my wife when we got married. She was from Baptist before, and I'm a Baptist. But later on, because she was in Lagos then, she joined the Redeemed Church. So she was used to that church. So the moment we got married, she wanted to be going to that church again. And I said, will I now follow you to your church? Are you not a Baptist background? Then that thing became an argument. I did not do anything. I knelt down and I said, God, I did not dictate because you called me to go and marry this one. I am a man. Prove it to me, man. The second day I went to her, I said, my dear, is that she said no problem. And that was how it was resolved. There was no single argument. Because prayer cannot be left out of your marriage. Even in a relationship. When you say some things, you also and you see that it's not working, try and pray. Not everything you share with people. Take all the steps you can take as a man first. Going to bar, going to hookah, going to everything cannot. Are you not going to come back to the house? But if you can see the face of God, things will change.
Someone was talking to me. She said she has an issue with a man. So I was like, what happened? She said she doesn't know the reason why the guy's father doesn't like her.
Okay.
So I'm like, have you done something nasty or something?
Is it from the beginning or after the marriage?
No, they're about going into the marriage.
Okay, not yet.
No, not yet. They're about going to the marriage. She was telling me this on Thursday. So I was like, what happened? Have you done something that the man doesn't like or something? She said no, that just for no reason, that he's always telling the son that oh, like Omoyi. But Omoyi they like Omoyi because they've been going out for long. So I asked her, I said, what's she's a Muslim.
Okay.
The guy is a Christian.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, is it because of the religious background or something? She said it seems so, but she's not sure. Now in this religious thing, if we have this religious barrier, there's this tribe barrier, because I just found out that they say even there's some tribes in Yoruba background from Azokemo, we felt the country with that. So I'm like, what's that? A friend of mine was even talking to me, said, hey, Tiba notice àwọn ọmọ àgbọ̀nbá gbìn ní ìsinmi kìíní pé Tiba notice most of àwọn ọmọ Igbo yẹn rí pé wọ́n ti dàgbà because of demands tó máa ń gbé lé fún wọn. What the demand? So in this kind of this, how do someone normalize that pressure? Because now The girl said she likes the guy. The guy likes the girl. But the problem is the father is the problem. Because of the religious background.
See, I will say pure truth. This is not sentiment. Don't go into marriage that parents did not support. You will regret it. The only thing you can do is to make sure you seek their face, you talk, you pray first, and then you try and convince them, and they say, hey, yes. If they didn't, it's not advisable.
In addition, Yoruba proverb, there's one Yoruba proverb, respect to elders, if you are listening to us, they will say, what the elder sit down looking at, if a child climbs a tree, you won't see it. So for the father to say, this is not the road for you to go, we need to discover that declaration. It could be wrestled out in prayer. There's no point about that. That thing that daddy saw will still be wrestled out in prayer and appropriate.
Because the scripture of obeying your parents, if the parents they are wrong, that's textbook. If the marriage is not blessed by them,
yes,
you will regret it.
So
but we are not talking about whether all this tribalism, whatever. It is because all of us in all our tribes believe we should be able to see ourselves in our environment the way we tackle something. My own brother-in-law now got married to a neighbor girl, and she's doing well.
Good.
Not that, but the same way, things are changing.
Good.
But don't blame people that didn't want, because it's still what they have experienced in the past. They believe it will always be like that. So don't blame them. But if you are getting married to another tribe and you are convinced, then you pray to God for conviction to convince your parents. The issue of religion might be difficult because no father that believes in biblical truth will allow his son to marry another
different
religion. And no Muslim that believe in Quran will allow his own son to marry. But God can work things out.
Yes.
I have a sister who is a Muslim that got married to a Christian. I have it. In fact, I know. She'll be hearing me now if she's online. And they are doing fine. But we prayed on our knee that time. She said she was convinced. Well, although the father has been allowing her to go to church before she met with the brother.
That's the agreement.
But let me tell you, it will be difficult. And don't stress yourself once you try, you pray, and don't try to say, let us go and impregnate ourselves. At the end of the day, they will agree. I have met more than 50 persons that have said no, and they are regretting. Some of them died. So I will plead with you. If you are going through that thing, you need to seek the Lord's face. Maybe you are in a wrong relationship.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
So how do we get it right now? Because when you mentioned I was about going to get pregnancy before marriage. You know, there are times that as a woman you just look down on yourself. Sometimes that thing that's if age is now telling, because it's that thing is so paramount with women. Then two, single mothers, how do you restore hope to them? You know, they've gone through a lot. From one outbreak, so they have always very careful to go into something else right now. So how do you restore hope to them? do you still encourage them they should still try again? Because look at there are some single mothers now these days they pay what if not remarry because someone was asking me that question how do you restore hope back to them?
Okay, I will just want us to look at it, carefully. Some things must have led to the change of status to now become a single mother. There was an agreement with a man, and you had a union, and here comes a child.
Sorry to go to sometimes it might be during school days.
Okay, maybe I'm still going there. There was an agreement, either infatuations, whatever that caused it. You had a union, there's a child. Maybe along the line now, it didn't work out. Eventually, that person becomes a single mother. That's one case. Because we don't know the angle this person is coming from. Yeah, another one could be there is a union already, and maybe something terrible happened. And now there is a divorce. Or there is even a death situation. The lady becomes a single mother again. And she feels maybe I don't want to go into another one. So we must first of all identify the status of that single mother. In the case of the first example that I gave, the marriage didn't work out after you had an issue. You now resort to yourself that I think I don't want to try again. Culture, sometimes give us some understanding about these things. In Yoruba tribe, Yoruba land, a woman like that might be difficult to see her husband to marry her because they will say she already have a baby. Okay, so you are always faced with that difficulty. I always have a baby. Then in Yoruba land, they will not want to see her in their OTB things like that. So you begin to have some pressure. One thing I want to encourage that human being or to counsel that human being that kind of person to do is to go back to God. Do you have a plan for me to go to another marriage? We have seen situations whereby people meet a single mother, by the way God will channel the footsteps after some time, meeting up with another single father, so to speak. He's already having some kids, maybe one or two, had a crisis, maybe the wife was late. This one too, from a broken heart, whatever, had a child. And both of them still come together. I know a family in Lagos here. Yes. And that was their story. The woman was in a marriage. She already had 3 kids. 3 kids. They were ladies. The man was also in a marriage, already having 2 kids. They were ladies. So the wife of the man died, early death, and the man was struggling with those 2 girls. He worked that time. He was in First Bank. He was struggling with those two girls. Then eventually, somehow, their path crossed. They attend Anglican church, so their path crossed, and they started building a relationship. They got married. Do you know that they now had 2 kids again? This woman has been looking for a man. This man was equally looking for a man. They came together. They had 2 boys. So we can't dispute the God's plan and everything. So for any single mother, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't write yourself up. First of all, identify your status of being single. Yeah, get that right. Then believe that if there is a plan of God for you to have another home, you will. And if it's a plan of God for you that you run your race alone, you are not alone. You are not alone in it. He will support you. He will guide you. He will empower you. And you will raise those wonderful children to beautiful places. So don't give up. If you are listening, you are a single mother, you are thinking about, should I try over again? Should I just, I'm even tired. Seek the face of God. There is a plan for you. Your path might cross another one that is praying to have you. And before you know it, you start all over again and build another beautiful family. Thank you.
The Bible says there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Don't condemn yourself.
Good.
That you make a mistake in the past. does not mean you cannot go ahead again. See, those mistakes, they were mistakes when you didn't have to understand them. And biblically, you were not still married. Because any marriage without a dowry is not marriage. So you just had a child outside wedlock. So it is better you open your heart, mind, to your own husband for you to get married. And God says is that man, he will come for you. We have seen cases of people that are raped and they have child out of wedlock. We have seen cases of a man, I think a lady that the husband, a pastor in Redeem, impregnated the lady under the nose of the wife, who the wife does not know. It will be difficult for that lady to believe in anybody again. Do you know? It was a mistake from her on her part. I want to tell you where you are hearing us here, that you can start all over again. And you can be strength to people. You can be grace to people. You can be hope for people. Maybe it happened to you so that you can help some others. So don't say, I wouldn't give way. Men are all the same. No. Don't say my women are all the same. No. God can still help you again. You can start all over. So don't give up.
It's just a Bible reference to support Mr. Kinji. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. It reminds us that single mothers, that they are deeply loved and cherished by God.
Nehemiah what?
Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. If you are listening to me, you are troubled in your hearts, I refer you to this Bible reference, Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. You will find solace, you will find courage, you will find comfort in that Bible verse. That the Lord reminds us that He cherishes single mothers. That means God identified that situations could make you a single mother. So if God can identify that situation, why would you look down on yourself? Why would you, disconnect yourself from hope? So please, if you are there, be encouraged. Your case is not done yet. It takes great delight in you. God takes great delight in you. Thank you.
On my time, you are all vast married now, and Mr. Victor is going 16 years right now.
By 10th of October.
By 10th of October. Mr. GD, you're married counselors. Now, for the upcoming months, what advice would you give to the upcoming months? Having this at the back of your mind that there's some people now that don't. If you ask some guys that okay, don't be to dance with people, don't buy low, don't buy chicken, things like that. So, what advice are you going to give to upcoming ones that want to go into marriage? I'd like you to just acknowledge them and tell them the way to go about it. Because like 16, 12 years, you're still standing strong. It's God's grace. So how did you guys do it?
See, the thing is, whatever you are dictating for yourself may not work for you. Whatever you have written down might not be what you will have at the end of the day. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you'll be happy. So many things I did not have. If I got married, I have them now. And I struggled for them. Because I married very, very late. I was even telling my wife, I had known that I would be delayed for more years. I would have gotten married like Ellie, but it was not me because I was in a relationship for 5 years and couldn't walk 3 weeks to the wedding. So the truth about the matter is, yourself is much more important than what will happen to you. Believe in yourself. Build up yourself and be mindful of saying negative things to yourself. Because whatever you say will stand. Just go ahead once you feel this person, I believe that person is having hope. This person that we are building together, we are going to get there. I have seen cases of people that they would say, hello, until I have this. They wouldn't have it until they get married. Someone you know also, that our moderator knows very well. They didn't have a job until they got married. If it's online, you'll be hearing us now. He didn't have any job. I told the wife, when they were dating, I said, are you ready to help your husband? He said, I don't have a job. Why would I be? And I don't want a woman to be dictating for me. I said, that is why God is making you to be like that. Just go down. A sister, you and she said yes. God started after their introduction with God. The guy is doing well now after marriage. So some people, they will not get married and they will not make any way out until they get married. Not all, but some. It is well. I think we are
okay, let's go.
Mr. Junior said it all. Personal determination towards that. You don't have to say you must get everything before you start. The beauty of it is in the Bible. I think Deuteronomy 32, if I'm not mistaken. Deuteronomy 32, either 30 or 31, I can't remember. When was the phrase that 1 will chase 1,000, 2 will chase 10,000. It's a mandate of God. You are limited if you are just 1. But the moment you become 2, you run the race faster, you achieve more. So those things you are waiting for, until I get my car, until I get my duplex, until I get this before I start, I want to assure you that you are running alone. But when you come and become one in marriage, as you lift your right hand, the woman or the man lifts the second hand and you lift it together. A lot of people, go and check them, famous today, glorious today, wealthy today, go and check how they started. You discover that they struggled this together, they worked it out as couple. So don't wait till you get it all. Whatever it is you have now, start right there and begin to build on it. That is when you will appreciate that marriage better. You won't fall into the hand of a gold digger. You will not fall into the hand of a gold digger. So that's it.
I'd like to say a very big thank you to my guests, Mr. Jide Akindoye and Mr. Victor Obi. I'd like to say very, very, very big thank you. Thanks for coming to the program.